Despite the conclusion of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's trial, news about the two continues to dominate. Many people have become famous as a result of the notorious defamation trial, including the attorneys involved. Both parties had a number of supporters, but the most recent developments have put one new supporter who joined Amber Heard's army in hot water. Let us provide some context on the situation. In January, Camille Vasquez, Johnny Depp's attorney, came under fire from Stanford law professor Michelle Dauber for allegedly sucking up to male power in a string of scathing tweets. The professor received criticism for tweeting offensive and disparaging things about Camille Vasquez, Johnny Depp's attorney. The professor had threatened to falsely accuse someone of assault. It was later discovered. Of all the women who suck up to male power, women lawyers are the absolute worst of the bunch, Dauber wrote. Desperate to prove they are real lawyers and understanding that being a woman undermines their identity as lawyers, they throw women under the bus as hard and fast as they can. Well, this certainly shows that she's capable of some extremely hurtful and disparaging remarks. Perhaps it is not a surprise then that Michelle Dauber and Catherine Lamon's Office of Civil Rights at the Department of Education are all accused of contributing to Katie Meyer's suicide. A wrongful death lawsuit has been filed against Stanford University for the passing of soccer star Katie Meyer. Michelle Dauber, a Stanford law professor who took pride in ranting on social media, deleted her Twitter account shortly after the lawsuit was filed. Screenshots of Michelle Dauber's heinous tweets from over the years show Stanford's abhorrent standards when it comes to her tweets, which could easily inspire any student to commit suicide. The complaint, which was submitted on Wednesday in Santa Clara County Superior Court, names a number of university officials and asserts that Meyers received a disciplinary letter on February 28 that was a form of institutional bullying and that this caused her so much anxiety that she impulsively led to her suicide that night. The lawsuit stated that Stanford University was both the beginning and the end of the events that resulted in Katie Meyer's death. Meyer received the official disciplinary charges via email from the Office of Community Standards at Stanford. The 5-page letter discussed an incident that allegedly occurred in August 2021 in which she was biking when she allegedly spilled coffee on a football player. Meyer thought that he had molested her freshman teammate, who was also a minor at the time. Despite the fact that the incident was reported to the university last year, the football player received no disciplinary action and was not dismissed from the team. According to the lawsuit, Meyer instead received a letter after hours. On the last day disciplinary charges could be filed. It outlined her potential removal from the university while putting her degree on hold 3 months before graduation. That night, she responded with an email in which she described herself as shocked and distraught. The lawsuit also alleged that the university neglected to conduct a wellness check right away. Dee Mostofi, a spokesperson for Stanford, refuted the notion that the school was in any way accountable for Meyer's suicide. The Stanford community continues to grieve Katie's tragic death, Mostofi wrote in a statement, and we sympathize with her family for the unimaginable pain that Katie's passing has caused them. Although it has not read the lawsuit, the university is aware of its claims and referred to them as false and misleading in a news release. Stanford claimed that it informed Meyer about the impending decision regarding a hearing on the incident that caused physical harm days before the letter was sent. Meyer was also offered an advisor and a support person of her choice for any hearings, according to school administrators. The university defended its response to the alleged sexual assault on Meyer's teammate, described as an unwanted kiss, by stating that the incident was reported to the university's Title IX office, which decided not to pursue an investigation. And local police. Kim Doherty, an attorney representing Meyer's family, called Stanford's disciplinary process egregious and reckless in public statements. Through this litigation, we will not only obtain justice for Katie, Doherty added, but also ensure necessary change is put into place to help protect Stanford students and provide safeguards when students are in need of support. Meyer, a student athlete who assisted Stanford in winning the 2019 NCAA championship, was alleged in the family's lawsuit to have wanted to enroll in Stanford Law School and try out for the United States women's national soccer team. Meyer's parents cited the disciplinary letter as a potential catalyst immediately after her passing. She had reportedly been in good spirits earlier that day. Meyer planned a spring break vacation and a birthday party and spoke to her family over FaceTime before receiving the letter. Meyer's parents are suing for funeral costs, legal fees, and damages related to their daughter's death. Under Catherine Lamon or Ruslan Ali, who signed the unrestricted Dear Colleague Title IX directive in 2011, Stanford and other universities, colleges, and schools in the U.S. have been using disciplinary procedures provided directly or indirectly by the U.S. Department of Education Office of Civil Rights. Michelle Dauber, who frequently uses social media to harass and defame others, including Johnny Depp and his attorney Camille Vasquez, drafted that letter. From 2011 to 2013, Michelle Dauber was the chair of Stanford's Judicial Affairs. She stated in 2017 or 2018 that the issue drove a large number of women to vote. In other words, rather than attempting to address campus sexual assault, she used it as a political tool, and the students on campus became her weapons. Catherine Lamon, who ran US at OCR from 2013 to 2017 and 2021 to the present, a friend of Dauber's, stated that the department's focus on star athletes drew attention to campus assault. She threatened to withhold federal funds from any campus that did not follow the Looking Glass-style disciplinary procedures that used a single investigator model to serve as jury, judge, and executioner. Stanford didn't even say anything when Michelle Dauber used social media to call for extreme violence against Brock Turner, the Stanford freshman Olympic swim team hopeful who was framed as a rapist by Dauber. Turner was denied the right to a fair trial from the beginning. Does all that sound familiar? Her friend Amber Heard was also accused of doing the same thing.
What's the finger, man? Come on. I had a mineral can of mineral spirits thrown at my nose.
You can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and
yes.
It's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
Katie Meyer couldn't escape. The writing was on the wall. Michelle Dauber, Catherine Lamon, Ruslan Ali, and members of the White House's Not Alone task force are the culprits banned a disciplinary procedure that with assuming guilt. Whatever the case, it hasn't mattered because Stanford, like other colleges, has simply adhered to the regulations sent out by an oppressive and activist-driven Office of Civil Rights of the Department of Education. Stanford was aware that the information about Brock Turner given to the media by one of its tenured professors was inaccurate, but they bowed to Dauber's propaganda, remaining silent as she worked behind the scenes with the Santa Clara County District Attorney to use the face of a 19-year-old new student as a rapist for political purposes. On the website of the Silicon Valley Democratic Committee, Dauber is even praised. In addition to Katie Meyer, it's likely that two other students also had their rights violated: the minor who was the alleged victim of assault and the football player on who she is accused of spitting coffee. The overwhelming weight of the evidence will, of course, exonerate Stanford. There will probably be an independent inquiry conducted by a risk management-focused law firm, which will help lessen the impact. There will be reputation protection. Despite having established and supported the campus atmosphere where these incidents, the suicide, the coffee spill, and the alleged rape took place, Stanford rejects all blame. Meyer was a team captain and a member of the 2019 College Cup All-Tournament team. She helped lead the Cardinal to a national championship in 2019 by making 2 critical saves in a penalty shootout, allowing Stanford to defeat North Carolina. And now she has been lost because of someone in a position of power that continued to abuse and oppress her. One netizen took to Twitter to express her displeasure about the situation. To be clear, Michelle Dauber is more harmful to Amber Heard than Johnny Depp. Shame on the ACLU for aligning with Dauber on anything. We have the emails that show Dauber is a liar and a criminal projecting her victimization on women for her own platform. She is a fake, #CPRA. Despite everything, there is some solace in her passing in the fact that it has brought a lot of people together.
I want you to be part of the action tonight. This is the time when you can get out.
So, what do you think about Michelle Dauber? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.